It begins with a sound, the chime of goat bells on a quiet riverbank, a single seed pressed into damp earth. This is the moment humanity stops wandering and starts building. The domestication of plants and animals is more than just food. It is the anchor for a new way of life. It allows for surplus, for planning, for tomorrow. From this foundation, villages swell, and the first cities stir from the dust, carving new habits into time itself. In Mesopotamia, a scribe's reed etches symbols onto wet clay. This is not just writing, it is memory made permanent. It is the birth of law, the codification of rules to govern a growing society. With tools like currency to smooth exchange and mathematics to count the harvest, rulers can organize labor on an unprecedented scale. Temples and palaces rise, and complex states emerge from the simple promise of a seed. Across the globe, humanity grapples with the same question: how do we live together? In the Indus Valley, the answer is found in meticulously planned cities with straight streets and public wells. On the Yellow River, it is cast in gleaming bronze. In Persia, it travels with couriers on imperial roads, a network binding a vast empire. And across the Aegean, it is debated in stone courtyards, as philosophy and democracy offer new visions of order. These are the first great experiments in governance, shaping how power is wielded, justified, and questioned. But order requires more than just laws. It requires a shared story. On the dusty roads of Asia, Buddhist monks carry a message of inner peace. In the courts of China, Confucian scholars speak of duty and family. And in the deserts of the Middle East, prophets call humanity toward a single God and a shared ethic. Faith and philosophy intertwine with governance, turning moral codes into public institutions, arguments we still inherit every time we debate justice and community. Ideas, like people, begin to travel. A camel bell on the Silk Roads signals the movement of more than just silk. It carries mathematics, art, and religion. Monsoon winds push lateen sails across the Indian Ocean, and in bustling ports, spices and remedies are exchanged, along with languages and technologies. These sprawling networks of trade become the world's first nervous system, pulsing with knowledge, connecting civilizations, and pulling the horizon ever closer. Then the world changes forever. On the deck of a wooden ship, in the vastness of the mid-Atlantic, the hinge of history swings open. Oceanic voyages do not just connect continents, they collide them. The Columbian Exchange transfers plants, animals, and devastating diseases, while the Atlantic slave trade builds fortunes on the theft of millions of lives. Gunpowder empires redraw maps with explosive force. A scientific revolution challenges old truths with observation and measurement, while the Enlightenment argues for the rights of the individual. And with the power of coal and steam, the Industrial Revolution forges a new world of smoky cities and unprecedented production. The pace of change accelerates, and separate worlds converge into a single global system. In the wake of this convergence, new powers arise. The nation-state organizes populations on a massive scale, leading to conflicts of unimaginable destruction. 2 world wars shatter old empires and give birth to new international institutions designed to keep the peace. Then, in the late 20th century, the digital revolution collapses distance entirely. Information, capital, and culture flow across borders in an instant. Today, artificial intelligence guides policy, and social networks connect billions. Yet the old challenges remain. Inequality widens, the climate warms, and the very definition of community is debated. The story of our past is the story of these forces, of connection and conflict, of innovation and upheaval. It explains the pressures of our present moment and forces us to choose what comes next.